The final discussion of the lymphatic system will be about lymphatic organs. And lymphatic organs are either going to be involved with immunity or they're going to be involved with recycling of lymph. So the first lymphatic organ that I want to point out is the lymphatic organ that sits right above the heart. So here's the heart, here's the lymphatic organ that sits right above the heart. This is called the thymus gland. And the thymus gland is the location where T lymphocytes, right, commonly known as or referred to as T cells, mature. Then you have found in bones, right? Found in bones. Right, so here's a bone right here, right? They're showing you a humerus. And found within a bone is something called red bone marrow. Now, red bone marrow contains things called stem cells. And stem cells are cool little cells because stem cells can be programmed to become any type of cell in the body. In this case, stem cells found in bone marrow, right, will mature and become things called B lymphocytes, or B cells. The next organ is right here, right, found just below your chest, underneath your lungs, right next to your stomach. This is called the spleen, right? And the spleen acts as a reservoir for blood. It also helps remove old red blood cells, right? So it removes them out of circulation. Right? And then up in the nasal cavity and in the oral cavity, right, you have these tiny little structures here, right? These are called tonsils, right? So tonsils, the reason why you have tonsils located in the nasal and oral cavities is because they're exposed to the external environment. So as you breathe in air, your air has to be filtered through the nose by mucous membranes and hair, but it also gets filtered by these tonsils. Just like in the mouth, you have tonsils that filter the food that you eat, or help filter the food that you eat. The last lymphatic organ that I'm going to discuss are these tiny circular structures that are found along the lengths of lymphatic vessels. These tiny circular structures are what we call lymph nodes. And as I mentioned to you before, lymph nodes help cleanse lymph. So we're going to take a closer look at a lymph node. So here's a lymph node. And what this lymph node has is kind of this labyrinth or a maze within it. And this labyrinth or maze is filled with structures called lymph nodules. And lymph nodules are just clusters of lymphatic tissue. And within this lymphatic tissue is where you find lymphocytes. So as lymph circulates through these lymph nodules, these lymphocytes, T cells and B cells, they clean that lymph as it passes through.